Welcome back, Scott Beeson, Yellowhammer Radio. Today we have financial guru Jeff Roberts with us. He's on the show regular. He's the founder of the Jeff Roberts & Associates, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services, Inc. Jeff Roberts & Associates is comprised of 7 knowledgeable financial professionals who can help simplify your complex wealth management needs and provide the superior level of experience, wisdom, and service you deserve. They deliver personal, one-to-one attention to help you grow and preserve your wealth, transfer it to those you care about, or use it more fully to achieve your dreams. Jeff, you on with us, brother?
I am indeed.
Hey, man, we got your this is a perfect intro to you. Big money.
Yeah, I appreciate the theme song.
Oh, absolutely. We appreciate you working with us, talking to our folks, letting them know, so many people, so few people want to do their job the rest of their lives. Everybody wants to one day retire and be able to do some other things. And I'm hoping you'll help, share with us a little bit about what we need to know when it comes to planning for retirement, because I'm one of those people, Jeff. I spent what little money I had serving in the state legislature. Regardless of what people think, you don't get rich there. If you're trying to do the right thing, you go broke. And, what should I know? What should we know about retirement planning?
Well, first, we should understand that there are 2 phases of retirement planning in general. There's the accumulation phase and the distribution phase. And obviously, the accumulation phase involves planning for retirement before you actually retire, when you are accumulating savings. And the distribution phase occurs during retirement, when oftentimes people are distributing their savings to cover retirement living expenses. Many people think that retirement planning is only for people who have not yet retired, and that's just not true. Getting to retirement is just half of the planning. The rest occurs during retirement, and there's a tremendous amount of work that must occur once in retirement.
Jeff, I'd never really thought about that, but I guess the issue is that people, maybe they spend their money too fast, or they realize I may live 10 years longer than I thought. So that's kind of the things you're talking about?
That's exactly right. Just knowing how far your retirement can last you. Absolutely.
Good deal. Well, Jeff, I know this is a big topic, and we can't cover it in one session. And like I'm saying, you're talking to me as much as you're talking to all the listeners out there. But can we continue to do retirement planning stuff in our upcoming Wednesday talks so that people know they can tell their friends and listen to us here on Yellowhammer, listen to Jeff Roberts talk about retirement planning for maybe the next few weeks?
Absolutely. We've got plenty to discuss on this topic. There's plenty. So I think for the next 2 to 3 Wednesdays, we can do that. And we can start today by tackling some of the accumulation phase issues today.
Okay. Well, when you talk about the accumulation phase, the part where I'm supposed to be saving my money and putting it in the right places, what are you telling people about that?
Well, generally, when it comes to planning for retirement, most of us only get one shot at this. There are only so many years in which you can plan. It is likely that your job at some point is going to stop, or your ability to do your job may stop, or your desire to do your job may stop. And that's most commonly what we see in our businesses. Clients' desires to do their job just comes to an end at some point. And for some of us, we're blessed to have jobs that we may do for forever. But everyone that I advise that is in the accumulation phase wants to reach a point where work is optional and retirement is affordable. They want to know they don't have to work. But you have to get serious right now because time is our biggest ally.
Oh, absolutely. And I've noticed a lot of people through the years, when they go through the accumulation phase, working with a guy like you, Jeff, and they realize that they don't have to work anymore, all of a sudden their job begins to be much more enjoyable because they know at any moment they can say, hey, look, I'm out of here. And that would be a great place to be. So how do I get there? How do we get there?
For clients who are serious about planning for retirement, we engage in a financial planning relationship where we define the goal. What is retirement to them? What does it look like? When does it occur? Take an inventory of where you are now and then do the math. And I'm going to way oversimplify this for sake of time today, but we have to drill down on what each client is trying to accomplish, because everybody's retirement may look different, feel different, sound different, plan different. We have to answer a few questions, actually several questions, and three important ones are, when do you reasonably want to retire? Of course, everybody says, well, I want to retire tomorrow. Well, when do you reasonably want to retire? Yeah, well, it's amazing how quickly people say that. I want to retire tomorrow. And then second thing is, for example, how much income do you need in retirement to maintain the lifestyle that you desire? And then a third good question is, how long might you live? Because life expectancy varies in families, and quite frankly, our planning would be tremendously easy if we knew the date of everyone's death. Well, that would make it a lot easier. We don't, so we have to make some assumptions there, and your family and your history makes a little bit of difference there too. But when we take an inventory of everything that you have done today for retirement and what you're doing, then we have to look at how much you've saved for retirement, how much you're going to be saving for retirement moving forward, and are there any company benefits that need to be taken into consideration? Are there any expected inheritances or lump sums that might come from, say, the sale of a business? But once we have asked all the questions and we've made all the assumptions, collected all the data, then we start calculating some financial projections to determine if you are on track or not on track. And then we just simply execute a plan that tightens up any gaps that you have.
So you make it sound easy, and I'm sure when I come to you, Jeff, you're going to say, no, Scott, you cannot plan on winning the lottery, especially if you don't play the lottery. But you make it sound easy to do. Is it really easy?
I like to think if you work with us that it definitely is. In the last 24 years, I've written thousands of financial plans. But in fairness, planning for retirement is simple, but not easy.
Okay.
And most of the best things and most important things in life are that way. Incredibly simple, but not easy.
But not easy. So, all right, I know one of them already. I can't plan on winning the lottery. So what are some of the other common mistakes that those in the accumulation phase make?
Oh, gosh, there's probably a dozen that come off the top of my head. I'll ramble some off quickly.
Okay.
Just for listeners to hear. Number one, it's hard to be objective with your own money, and I recommend working with a financial advisor who specializes in ongoing retirement advice. You typically need a coach. We all do. And someone that can hold you accountable to your goals. It's probably number one. And these are more in random order. But, two, people not getting serious about retirement planning early enough. They've got so many things going on in life with kids and family and soccer and everything they got to do, but recognizing that you only have so many years to plan for retirement, and the sooner you do it right, the better. So as I said earlier, you only have one shot at this, and there's only so many years to accumulate, so we got to get serious right now. Probably a third most common mistake is people carrying too much debt before retirement or trying to retire with too much debt still on the books. That often causes many problems in retirement. Number four would be people often fail to monitor their progress towards retirement. So they do something, and then that's the last they do for a while and don't think more about retirement. They spend more time planning their family vacation than they do their long-term financial objectives for retirement. So we prefer to engage retirement with clients, at least doing annual projections. Number five would probably be seeing people maintaining multiple retirement plans from former employers where they've changed jobs 2 or 3 times. They got these little retirement plans laying in different spots, and most people don't manage one retirement plan very well, much less 2 or 3. So addressing that's important. And then people not saving enough towards retirement, very simply. Most people save about the same as what their company is matching, so 4 or 5 or 6% say into their 401k plan. And we generally tell clients that they need to be saving a minimum of 10% of everything they make towards retirement, ideally 15%. People also don't regularly increase their level of retirement savings. So it's hard to start saving 15% straight off the bat towards retirement. So you have to start at a lower level that's comfortable and bump it up regularly, maybe every 6 months or once a year, or maybe when you get a pay raise. Not having the right amount of long-term growth exposure in someone's portfolio is also a gap that we see. And maybe the last, pitfall or roadblock maybe is going through the process of determining what you need to do relative to retirement, but then not actually taking action and tracking yourself.
Oh no, see that would be where I am, and where a lot of people I know is that we've not started that process, and having someone like yourself, okay, these are the things you need to do to make that process happen, and on the other end of the spectrum, are there some common pitfalls that people miss, and when they're trying to see where their goal is?
No doubt. Understanding how to calculate your income needs at retirement is typically a big pitfall. For example, you sometimes hear a rule of thumb that says, in retirement, you need to have about 80% of what you earned just before you retire. That can be way off base and very misleading. I've seen clients retire with only 40% of what they earned before they retired and be very comfortable. I've seen other clients retire with 120% of what they had before they in income, what they had before they retired, and that aligned with their goals. So we walk clients individually through an exercise where we take their base income that they live off of and subtract out things like taxes and the other expenses that they currently have today that they won't have at retirement. So imagine your base income, back out a mortgage because you hope that's gone, back out children because you hope your kids are gone when you retire, back out car payments, back out retirement savings contributions, back out your FICA tax, which is 7.5% or so of everything that you earn. So then that gives us a number that is actually the standard of living that you go by and live by today. That's what you actually have to spend and live off of. Then we add to that number what expenses you may have in retirement that you don't have today, like travel or grandchildren or maybe medical expenses.
Right.
And then we arrive at a number in today's dollars that indicates what your retirement expenses would need to be if you retired right now. So that's a pitfall. It's helping people to go through that process, and that's why we think engaging an advisor is key. Another quick one, pitfall, is business owners. It's tough for retirement planning. It can make things cloudy because many small business owners have a huge amount of their wealth tied up in their business, and it's hard for them to determine what the business is actually worth, and even harder to find somebody that might be willing to take it over or buy it. So small business owner succession planning is a critical part of our work. And maybe the last pitfall, and very, very common, is people that fail to plan adequately for long-term illness or injury during retirement. And ideally, long-term care planning should be addressed in the accumulation phase because it can get way expensive during retirement.
Oh, yeah. Well, Jeff, I know there's a lot more to cover, and I'm learning a lot from just what you're telling me. And clearly, I hope we can pick this back up next week. Do you have any more thoughts, anything you want to wrap it up with before we have to get off here?
Yeah, just a couple things. Let's definitely do maybe the next one or two sessions on Wednesday about retirement to pick this up and continue and talk about also the distribution phase at retirement. But I want to make sure people hear me clearly. A good retirement does not just happen. It has to be planned. If you don't feel confident that you are on track, give us a call. Or this is a neat idea. Go to jeffrobertsandassociates.com, our website, and on the very first page, just below my picture, you can take our 3-minute confident retirement check to find out how confident you feel about your financial future and how your retirement confidence compares to others.
That sounds great, Jeff. That's Jeff Roberts of Jeff Roberts and Associates. Hope you'll look them up. Appreciate the visit, man. Look forward to talking to you next week.
Talk to you soon.